What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jacqueline, and this is episode number 47. Today, for every football fan, is the most exciting day of the NFL offseason, as the NFL draft is tonight. Lots of big questions, lots of unknown things circling around, a lot of teams. Obviously, as you can tell, if you've watched my podcast before or if you see the background, I am a Giants fan. Also, my hat, I am wearing my New York Giants hat right now. There's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen tonight. So I will be talking a lot about that. I will also be talking about the NBA, as every team had their game too the past few days, so I will be recapping that a little bit. But first, I just want to get into the NFL draft because it's literally happening tonight, and I'm so excited. So first pick, Titans, they will be drafting Cam Ward. I don't see them doing anything else. I think it's pretty certain that they're going to be getting Ward. Number 2, the Browns will likely be drafting Travis Hunter, wide receiver and cornerback. I think he's the best player in this draft, in my opinion. I don't see him falling from 2. And at 3, the Giants have the third pick, and I've been following this very closely, obviously, all offseason. And what it seems like right now is, what it seemed like, a month ago was very different than what it seems like now. What it seems like right now is that the Giants will be drafting Penn State pass rusher Abdul Carter. A few months ago, if you told me that the Giants were going to pass on Shedeur Sanders, I would say that you're crazy. I think just even a month ago I said that, or a few weeks ago. But recently, Shedeur Sanders' draft stock has been dropping. And there's a lot of questions as to why. Just a few months ago, Sanders was projected to be a first pick, even over Cam Ward. And now, most mock drafts from NFL insiders have him going after the 20th pick. So what has happened exactly? And it seems like teams are not happy with him when they interviewed him. Based on what a lot of reports say of anonymous coaches or GMs or other just guys in the interview room, is that Sanders doesn't seem like a team player. He seems pretty full of himself. He doesn't seem like a sure guy when he's actually on the field. There's a lot of concerns also with the diva allegations as well, and also with how they feel about his father being included in his football world. I think there's a lot of question marks when it comes to Sanders of how he will play in the NFL, and without his father as his head coach giving him all these opportunities and all these chances. He's not going to have Travis Hunter on his team anymore. Right? He's not going to have his father, one of the greatest NFL players of all time, as his head coach. So how will he adapt into the NFL? And it seems like a lot of teams are not sure he will be able to adapt properly. So because of this, new reports, Sanders is likely going to fall out of the top 3, the top 10, top 15, and the top 20. I'm honestly shocked by this, considering how hyped up he was prior to the interviews. But it's true. Sometimes these interviews are very telling of who these guys are and the kind of character that they have. And do you want that in your locker room? So Giants seem pretty sure that they will be drafting Abdul Carter. And I think I'm really happy about that. Carter, Penn State pass rusher, absolute beast in college. Reminds me of Micah Parsons. Obviously, he wears the same number as him and also went to Penn State. A lot of similarities there. I think he will be dominant in his first season. I think he can get to 10 sacks in his rookie year. I'm very confident in the kind of player he will be. Would I rather have Travis Hunter? I think I would, just because of the generation talent that he is. However, I think Abdul Carter will have a better rookie year because the Giants already have a great defense, but adding someone like Abdul Carter can really bring that push like they had back in the 80s or back in the 2000s and into 2011. So I think I'm really happy with Abdul Carter if they do end up drafting him. Obviously, you never know. You never know what this team is going to do. You never know what any team is going to do. But just based on what a lot of the insiders are predicting, it looks like Carter is a New York Giant. But then another guy that the Giants are looking at is Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. At first, a lot of the mocks had him going in the second or third round. Now, he's a potential first-round pick. Dart finished his senior year at Ole Miss throwing for over 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions as well. He was also named as a first-team All-SEC player, and I think he can be a really great player in the NFL as well. I really like what he says in his interviews. I really like the confidence that he has. He doesn't seem like a diva whatsoever. And the Giants like quarterbacks from Ole Miss because if you see behind me, I have Eli helmet here Eli jersey here, an Eli signed frame over there, and Eli played at Ole Miss, and Eli Manning is the greatest quarterback in New York Giants history. So New York Giants know what they're doing with the Ole Miss quarterbacks. So the thing about Dart, though, is that now with the mock drafts, it seems like he will be going in the first round, and the Giants obviously have have the third pick overall, and then they have a second round pick. So if they keep those picks as they are, they're not going to get Dart. So Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Insider, predicts that the Giants are actually going to trade their second round pick and then another second round pick for 2026 to get a late first round pick to acquire Jackson Dart. His mock shows them trading with the Seahawks to be able to get this pick. I honestly really like that idea. I know there's a lot of rumors about them wanting to get Jalen Milroe late in maybe the second or third round. I don't really know if I like his style so much. He only threw for 16 touchdowns and 11 interceptions as well in his senior year. Nothing is really showing that he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL, but obviously you never know. And if you wait for a late pick, that could also be good. But I really do like Jackson Dart, and I think it would be a great idea to get him, right? We have Russell Wilson, we have Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart on the same team. Have him learn from someone like Russell Wilson, who was a Super Bowl champion, who is a likely Hall of Famer, who has been to several Pro Bowls. I like the idea of getting Jackson Dart. However, if they do not trade, then I would be happy with Jalen Milroe as a later pick. I don't necessarily want to use a second round pick on him, but if he's available at the third, then I would be very happy with that as well. All right, so those are my predictions for the NFL draft for the New York Giants. I don't know what else is going to surprise everyone. Ward obviously will be the first pick overall. Travis Hunter will be the second, and the Giants will be getting Abdul Carter, which I'm very excited about. At least that's what I'm saying now. Who knows, in a couple hours, I could be shocked by what the Giants end up doing. I could look like a fool on this episode, but I do my research. I watch all the football shows. I'm checking online. And then my own opinion as well. I like Abdul Carter a lot, and I do hope to see him as a New York Giant. All right, now moving on to the NBA. So before I get into the recaps of all the Game 2s, Jalen Brunson was named as the Kia Clutch Player of the Year. I think that's pretty deserved. That man is so clutch. He's so fun to watch. The Knicks are so exciting because of him. When he was out with an injury, I could not watch a Knicks game. I was so bored watching them without Brunson. He's clutch. He's a baller. Really happy for him. So now I want to go into the recap for all of the Game 2s that have happened the past few days. So to begin, I want to talk about the Clippers-Nuggets game. I know it was a couple days ago, but stay with me. Once again, we had a tight matchup, Nuggets-Clippers. Though this one did not go into overtime like Game 1, it was a nail-biter from the end. And the star of that game was Mr. Kawhi Leonard, former Toronto Raptor. I know he played with us for 1 year, but I will always see him as a Raptor. But obviously he played with the Spurs, and then he went to the Raptors, and now he's with the Clippers. Kawhi scored 39 points, and he went 15 for 19. He had one of the best games that I think I've ever seen him have. I think this is Kawhi in his prime in this game, right? Kawhi is no longer in his prime, as we know. He's an older guy in the league. He was in his prime, 2014 maybe, and then honestly a little bit with the Raptors in 2019, considering he won us the championship. He looked good. He looked really good, and the Clippers look really scary. I think this series will go to 7 games. I think it'll be the best series of the first round. I know I said Wolves-Lakers, but I'll get into that soon of how Game 1 was a blowout, Game 2 was a blowout. I think the rest of the series will be really exciting, but I do think that Nuggets-Clippers is the most competitive of them all right now. Jokic is balling, Aaron Gordon is balling, Jamal Murray, and then we got the Clippers with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi is looking so good, and they got the win. Next, I want to go into the Lakers-Wolves game. I had a feeling the Lakers were going to win this game, considering the way they played in Game 1 and considering that they're also in Los Angeles. I knew that LeBron and Luka would not have a 2-game loss in Los Angeles and then go to Minnesota, because I just don't see them winning the series. So I knew, even though I want the Wolves to win it all, I knew the Lakers were going to win this game. Luka balled out, LeBron balled out. The Lakers played really well, and the Wolves played pretty well as well, but they were very confused by the Lakers defense. Anthony Edwards, I believe, said post-game that he was confused, like genuinely confused, and he's been in the league for a couple of years now, right? He's played some of the GOATs, and I don't think he's ever admitted to being confused by a team's defense. So the Lakers are good. I knew this going into it, the Lakers were going to step it up again, or that they were going to step it up in this game, considering the bad loss that they took in game 1. I think the series still will go to a game 7. I think it's going to be competitive now. I know both games were kind of blowouts. I think now it's going to be competitive. They both know what they're doing. They both understand each other's teams. I'm really excited for it, but Lakers were great. Luka was great, obviously, but doesn't change anything of how I think the series is going to go. I said it from even after game 1, even though the Wolves look so good, I knew it was going to go to a 7-game series. All right, next I want to move on to the Rockets-Warriors game. I know I'm skipping a couple of games right now, but I do really want to talk about it because it was quite the performance by Houston. I had a feeling that they were going to come back stronger after a really disappointing loss against the Warriors in game 1. Jalen Green has had an awful 4 straight games. As I said in my last episode, he was extremely disappointing in game 1, but he came back into game 2 and he has found his confidence, he has found his groove, and he is out of his funk. He ended the game with 38 points. He showed us all, look, I'm back. I had a couple of bad games. I wasn't confident. I was making bad decisions. Now I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm playing against, and I can score 38 points. So the Rockets did look really good, but I have to note that a part of this big win was because the Warriors lost Jimmy Butler. Early in the game, Jimmy Butler had a hard fall. It was kind of like a Draymond Green pushed Amen Thompson into Jimmy. He had a hard fall and he was ruled out right after. He was diagnosed with a pelvic contusion. I'm not sure if he will be returning for game 3. I would hope so. He looked like he was in some bad pain after that fall. Did not look good. He was on the ground for a while, honestly. So missing Jimmy played a big role in both the Houston Rockets' great offense and the poor offense by the Warriors. The only guy who was able to score any points that night was Steph Curry. The whole offense looked so bad, so many bricks, so many mistakes. Having Jimmy out there, as I said in my last episode, they're the best duo in the NBA. So Steph missing Jimmy is a real big loss. So if Jimmy is out for game 3, then I think that is going to change the entire series, because Jimmy is really what's going to keep them alive and keep them as a strong playoff team. I kind of want to skip over the Thunder-Grizzlies series. Honestly, it's so boring because the Grizzlies are so bad. They do not have any answers for the Thunder. The Thunder are so good. Shea is so good. Chet is so good. That entire team is so good. And Memphis has no idea what they are doing. It is a boring series. I would love to see Memphis win one game, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Thunder, they're going to sweep them. I think it's going to go 4-0, and the Thunder are going to move on to the second round very soon. So I'm going to skip over that because honestly, it's just so boring. Okay. Next, I do want to go into the Celtics game, Celtics Magic game. It was an interesting game, and the Celtics were missing Jason Tatum. However, the Celtics are so good. They balled out. Kristaps Porzingis ended the game with a double-double with 20 points and 10 rebounds, and Jaylen Brown also ended the game with a double-double, scoring 36 points. Now my question is, do the Celtics need Jason Tatum? For this round alone, no. Paolo Banchero is amazing. Okay, he is going to be a real threat to the NBA. He already is, but the Magic is just nowhere near as good as the Celtics are. They are not going to be able to win this series. I really don't see it. So do the Celtics even need Jason Tatum in this series? I don't think so. However, they are not going to win the championship without him. I know there's lots of talk. Is Jason Tatum overrated? Is he this? Is he that? The Celtics are a great team, and they can get past this round without Jason. But they're going to need Tatum back to move on. The East is really strong this year, much stronger than they were last year. They will need Tatum back, but if he needs rest, I say sit him out for the first round because the Celtics are just too powerful. Their whole team is so good. You got Derek White, you got your sixth man of the year, Mason, you got Kristaps Porzingis, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Al Horford. You have a really great team. You got Drew Holiday. Almost forgetting about him. How am I almost forgetting about him? It's a great team. Let Jason rest and then bring him back for the second round. All right, and ended the most clutch player I think of the past few days. I know I'm skipping some teams. I'm sorry, but the most clutch player of the past few days is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell lit it up in the second half yesterday. In last night's game, I believe the first half he only had 10 points, but he ended the game with 30 points. He was super clutch in the fourth quarter, hitting daggers, hitting threes, nice crossovers, nice passes. He balled out. The Cavaliers are a real danger to the NBA. The Heat looked good, though. Don't get me wrong. Tyler Hero had an amazing game, scoring over 30 points. But the Heat themselves, they are not going to be able to keep up with the Cavs. I think it could go to 5 or 6 games in this series, but the Cavaliers will be getting it done, and Donovan looks so damn good. All right, that is going to do it on today's episode. Just want to give a little Game 2's recap, but mainly want to talk about the NFL draft and especially who the New York Giants will be drafting. The New York Giants will be drafting Abdul Carter tonight. You heard it here first. Well, no, you didn't hear it here first. You heard it in all the other mock drafts and what all the NFL insiders are saying. But I am confident the Giants will be drafting Abdul Carter, and they might even be trading around to acquire Jackson Dart late in the first round. I'm so excited. The Giants really needed a change. They waived Daniel Jones earlier. We signed Russell Wilson. We have a lot of exciting things going on with this team, so please make the right decisions in tonight's draft, and let's become contenders again. Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode. Please do not forget to give this episode a like if you enjoyed it and to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.